Welcome everyone to Bolts and Nose Podcast number 78. Austin?
78, brother.
78.
Yes.
That would be 78 in Spanish.
Yes, it would.
Do you know any other languages?
Ooh.
Francois?
You know, we should probably brush up on a few other languages.
Swahili is my next one.
Maybe Pig Latin.
That's easy.
Really? Just do it. If it's that easy, you do it.
Evandi say. I'm just like my brain's going
It
to
was
Spanish.
so easy.
78. So it's Evandi say 8A. Right? 8 is a weird one. 8A.
What's the square root of 78?
The square root of 78 is 1.
It was easy a minute ago.
I don't know square roots. Give me a calculator. That's why they have calculators. Because no one cares about square roots.
Yes.
Who cares about a square root?
Name two numbers you can multiply together and get 78.
39 times 2.
Okay. Or 78 and 1.
And 78 and 1.
Oh, okay. Beautiful Friday afternoon.
Cheers.
Nice, chilly, cool afternoon.
It's got the nips hard today, I tell you what.
You know, I started out yesterday. I was in Cozumel.
Oh, baby.
Beautiful weather.
Were you wearing a banana hammock?
High 80s. I was wearing a banana
What
hammock.
color?
Yes. It was chartreuse.
Chartreuse?
Yes.
You're wearing a chartreuse banana hammock?
It had a little 80s theme to it.
Was everyone staring?
Chartreuse and hot pink.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
You got any pictures?
And white sunglasses.
I hope you do post
White
a picture.
Ray-Bans. Yeah.
White Ray-Bans?
I've got it, yeah.
And a backward trucker's
Yeah, I've
hat.
got the wife beater tan line. I've got one of those.
Do you?
going on
Take your
too,
shirt
yeah.
off for a bit.
Okay, later.
Later.
All right. All right, what are we talking about today?
You can't say you're on a cruise in a bathing suit without taking an immediate left turn. That's
Why?
impossible.
No, it's fine.
Because bathing suits are just funny in general.
You know, it wasn't that warm. It was warm enough to just be outside in a lounger and
Yeah.
shorts and t-shirt.
And drinking.
It was beautiful. And drinking, yes.
What'd you drink? What was your
So-
favorite drink on the cruise?
You know, we went to a little bourbon tasting.
I did the same
deal.
one.
Did you?
I did the same
So-
one on that same ship.
So they came out and they had a flight of different stuff. They had Blanton's, they had Angel's Envy, they had Woodford Reserve,
Woody's
I
Skillet.
believe, and then they had another one. I can't remember what it was. But then at the end, he made us an old fashioned, and he made it in a way that I've never seen anybody make it, which we're going to do that next week.
Yeah, you said it's with what? Whistle pig and
So
Makers?
he didn't use cane syrup. It was a bourbon brown sugar, and it's just the sugar that you buy, the dry sugar. Then you mix it with water, and you create your own simple syrup,
Okay.
right? And then there's a cherry called,
Lizardo.
well, it might be, but it's
Lizardo,
called
yes.
Filthy Cherries. You can get them in a can on Amazon. Filthy Cherries. I've got a picture of it, I'll show you. And then not the agnostic bitters. What's that
Yeah,
word?
yeah.
What's
I
the
don't
word?
know, but
I don't know.
bitters.
Starts with an A. A
Yeah.
bitters. So Woodford Reserve makes their own bitters. Did you know this?
I didn't.
It's a flavored bitters, and they make one called spiced cherry. So those three elements, and then
Sounds too sweet.
what his secret was he didn't use full rye. He'll use a half and half mixture of bourbon
I like it.
and rye.
I like it.
So he used a Whistle Pig 15, which was awesome, right?
One of the best.
And then he used Knob Creek for the other side of it.
Knob Creek.
Yes.
Really?
He used Knob Creek.
No way.
Yes,
he didn't.
another
No one
popular whiskey.
ever
Yes.
drinks Knob Creek.
It's good. It's a decent little bourbon.
Didn't we say
We
earlier-
should try that on this podcast. We haven't tried Knob Creek yet.
Austin's the only Knob
I'll bring a
Creek
bottle.
drinker
Next
in here.
week we're doing Knob Creek. Yes. Yes. He's up Knob Creek without a paddle.
I don't even know if I've ever had Knob Creek.
Really?
Yeah.
well,
It sounds like something your grandpa
I
would
had
drink.
it this week and it was pretty good.
But you had it all mixed up.
And this guy was a connoisseur, baby. He was a connoisseur.
So the
I'm-
bartender on the Disney Cruise Line was a connoisseur
well,
of whiskey.
He was from Goa, India.
And he's from Goa, India.
Yes.
None of that
But
works out.
he conducted the whole class.
You're not convincing
and
me
I
at
was
all.
convinced that he knew what he was talking about.
Like an old boy in a cowboy hat and with a piece of straw hanging out of his
Yes.
mouth from Kentucky.
But
I'm in.
He impressed me. His name was Trevor.
No
His name
fucking
was-
way. His name
he
is
was-
Trevor.
he was an
His name was
Indian
not
guy
Trevor from India.
Goa, India.
No fucking
His
way.
name was Trevor. Yes. And he knew all about bourbon.
Hello, my
But
name is Trevor.
Regardless, all of that If you did tasted his old fashioned, you'd be convinced.
All right.
You'd be convinced with me. So
What are you talking about?
I'm gonna make it for you. You're gonna believe in Trevor's old fashioned. What do we got here? What do we got here?
I think that was Jamie's creation. Jamie, come talk about the elf on the shelf.
Throwing her right under the bus.
Chavez, come talk about the elf on the shelf.
So
We did ask Chavez to name the elf on the shelf.
in normal office space, you'd have an elf on the shelf. You might hide it out. Might be a good team building exercise. We get an elf named Cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
And
Did we decide that Cinnamon was the
Well,
final
I mean,
name?
I think we took an informal vote. I think that was the consensus.
Okay, Cinnamon it is.
And Cinnamon, somebody has scotch taped Cinnamon upside down to a bolt, liner bolt. And so this is what we end up with.
How does this happen in
don't
our
know.
office?
I don't know how we have
So
a business.
inappropriate. I
Bryce.
can't stand this
Yeah.
inappropriateness.
Okay,
anymore.
we'll set Cinnamon aside. She seems very busy. She seems very busy.
So,
Cinnamon.
what do you want to do? You want to jump in? You want to talk about some exciting
Yeah,
topics?
let's talk about. So
We've had a lot of arguments actually in the office about a current event.
really.
Yeah. Have you seen like this dude, this insurance guy that got blasted
Yes.
out in front of
Yeah.
him?
Yeah. I
So
did.
the majority of the female in the office think the killer is handsome.
He did look handsome. I will agree. He did look handsome.
Really?
You seen him pull the mask down and he was flirting with a girl in the, what was the Starbucks? He did look pretty handsome.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're on the handsome bandwagon?
Yeah.
Okay. And so he killed a guy, went to Starbucks, or was that before?
He went to Starbucks before and got a bottle of water. And
So you're all in this story
he's on,
too, huh?
He's on video making a call and drinking the water. He throws the water bottle in a trash can. They recover the water bottle, so presumably they
DNA.
have DNA. He had thrown the phone into a dumpster not a while back, so they recovered that. And so they have those two things. I don't know what they've done from that, but apparently the storyline is that he left Atlanta on a bus about a week ago.
Okay.
And he paid cash to stay in a hostel in New York, and he's been there for about a week.
The killer.
Yes, the killer. And
Do they have hostels in New York?
yeah, there's hostels everywhere.
Really?
Hostels
I didn't know
everywhere.
that.
Yeah.
No.
There's probably hostels within 6 blocks of our building here.
No
Yes.
way.
Anything can be a
I
hostel.
thought hostels are only in like Holland.
No, they can be anywhere. Yeah. And you'll have it in large cities as well. It's almost like a homeless shelter, you know?
I need Austin like to walk around with me, like behind me, so he just laughs at stupid shit I say.
Yeah.
I was gonna-
Austin has a crush on you. He's going to laugh at anything you say. He has a crush on you.
He feels smarter every time.
You should.
That's what I'm going for
Sure.
here, Austin. That's what I'm going for.
All right. So yeah. So you know, and you see that they've got facial recognition, whatever. They've got a pretty clear view of his face there. Presumably, I guess that's him. So you'd think they'd find the guy. Jeez.
There's a show that's on Netflix that I just ran through called Madness, and it is a lot like this. It's kind of crazy that this just happened and Madness just came out.
Oh, the other detail was the 3 bullets, right? Had
Yeah,
the
the
words,
words, like-
scribed on the bullets.
That the insurance
They shot him
company-
3 times, and he had 3 words. It was like deny, depose,
What was the other ones?
and deny, depose.
And
There's another D.
die, mother.
Yeah. Well, could have been. I don't think that was it.
That wasn't it, but-
for the purposes of this podcast, we'll assume that's it.
We'll just say it's die.
So it seems pretty sinister, right? I mean, that's crazy.
I don't know. It depends on who you talk to in this office, because some people are like, "Go killer, go."
That seems to be.
They think he's handsome, and they think
There
billionaires
is a large.
are shady.
Well, people don't like United Healthcare. Apparently, they withhold settlements and they fight every claim and
I think
that
all
sort of
insurance
thing.
companies is
Yeah, they do, but
somewhat
they're
of a
the
scam.
largest. They are the largest in the U.S.
Are they really? I
Yes.
didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what I read anyway. I assume it's right. But they're large, so I'm sure they get a lot of exposure, and I'm sure there's a lot of hate out there.
And this was the CEO.
So I can't, I mean, regardless of the reasons or what's going on, I mean, yeah, this is the CEO, and he was 50 years old. He looked younger than that, too.
Was he handsome?
You know,
Was the guy who got no?
I wouldn't
No.
date him, but
Everyone's shaking their head no.
he wasn't.
Even the gentlemen are shaking their head
He wasn't unattractive. He wasn't overly
no.
unattractive.
He had bunny teeth. What's bunny teeth? Like sticking out? Okay. Okay.
The guy had a wife and kids and all this, so yeah, it's sad. It's
He's a
sad.
soccer dad. Okay.
Yeah,
What'd you say? Oh,
yeah, soccer dad. That's a good.
I thought you said that's what Chris looks like.
I'm sure he enjoyed a good glass of bourbon, and
Yeah.
probably smoked a cigar every now and
Yeah,
then.
he's drinking some
Yeah.
bourbon on a
Cruise ship.
Disney cruise.
No, but yeah. So
All right,
hopefully they catch the guy.
So let's get into you had a great idea for
Yeah.
a topic today.
So talking about technical topics, we're always looking for one. We're always afraid we're going to run out, but there seems to be an endless amount of technical topics.
I hope so.
One of the things we put on our website, which a lot of people I don't think realize, is we have a section on our website up at the top that says technical.
And you're gonna flash this.
Yeah, I'll put some of the screenshots up on
Yeah.
so we can show it. and visualize it.
www. People don't use www anymore. So
No,
just
it's
patriotbolt.com.
patriotbolt.com. We intentionally took www off.
Patriotbolt.com.
Yeah, patriotbolt.com. You'll go to the top. You'll go to technical. You pull it down. You'll see technical resources, and then from resources you go to the technical worksheets. And if you look under that, there are links. And when you click those, it doesn't just pull up a PDF, and it doesn't just pull up information or another Word page. It pulls up an actual spreadsheet.
Did you guys know this? That
Sure.
we have these technical resources on our website?
So you can actually download the Excel file.
How about that? Yeah.
Yes. So
You guys should do this with us.
And a lot of people don't do that, right? I mean, it's very rare, and a lot of people are skeptical of those, right? Because if you're downloading a file,
It's going to be skewed toward.
But these are legitimate, actual Excel spreadsheets that are housed in our server that you can download, and it has tons of flange data information on it. So you can actually take that data and develop your own spreadsheet, or look at the formulas, behind the cells to see how it's calculated. But in this case, you can pull up. There's one that's B16.5, so all of the raised face flanges, 150 through 2500 class flanges. It's got all of the flange data in there. It'll tell you by nominal pipe size, how many bolts, what's the size of the bolts, what's the length of the bolts, what's the diameter of the raised face, what's it'll even have for spiral wound and soft gaskets what the ID and the OD of the contact area is, so it'll calculate a surface area. And it has two cells at the top. One is a bolt stress, desired bolt stress, and one is a K factor. And if you fill out just those two cells, if you know those things,
You're in
or you can
business.
play around with those, it changes the entire spreadsheet, and it tells you what the gasket stress is for a spiral wound, the gasket stress is for a soft gasket. It'll tell you what the torque value is based on the friction factor that you entered. And it just gives you a wealth of data. And you can play around with those two numbers. You can just enter in the different numbers and just go up or down, and you can see how it impacts all of the flanges all at once, just with one click.
And so if you're designing a piece of equipment, that comes in handy.
Yeah,
right?
or if you've got an
if
existing
you're-
piece
yeah,
of equipment,
exactly.
you could even use it to tell what diameter bolts you need, how many bolts you need, what the length of the bolts are.
Yep.
And it'll break it up between using a raised face flange or even a ring joint flange, because there's a different length in the bolt for a ring joint flange.
Or PTFE or
Yes.
thread lubricant or
Yeah.
whatever.
So you have to know, what bolting you're using. That's one of the reasons why we didn't put it on there where you select the material and, what type of lubricant you're using. You have to know enough to put in the actual bolt stress that you're trying to target, because that allows the user to say, okay, if I'm using a BA class 1 material versus a 660 bolt, there's a huge swing in the amount of bolting there. So if you're using 50% of each one of those respective bolts, there's a wide range of numbers that you can plug into those cells. So you got to know some of the technical background there, but if you know those two variables, you can plug it in and see the torque value and stress values for every flange in the whole range. So there's one of those links that goes to B16.5, which is half through 24-inch nominal pipe size. And then there's also pages for B1647A and all of those sizes, and B1647B and all of those sizes.
Correct.
There's 3 main worksheets that you can download for that. So
It comes in handy.
It's very handy. I use it all the time. I can keep it
And-
on my desktop. So
You know,
again,
people
you can
call all the
download
time.
those
Yeah,
and just
right.
keep them on your desktop. You don't have to go back to our website every time.
People call all the time and ask if we have that information.
Yeah.
And so it's just a good piece that, hey, go to our website.
Yeah, and again, not everybody puts it on there as a downloadable, but it's almost like an open source file where you can pull it down and you can custom tailor that and change the spreadsheet to where it fits your needs.
I am surprised you put that on there.
Yeah, I mean, I think some people think that's proprietary, but it's not proprietary. It's all published data, and it's all data that, if somebody called us and needed that information, we would give it to them anyway.
It's very nice
So
of you.
we provide a service, not just a product.
That's right.
Bryce,
A service.
Yeah.
Very technical service.
Right, Rachel?
We're here to solve problems. Rachel's not listening to a word you're saying.
I know.
This is the part in the podcast where people take naps.
I was looking at my notes. I wrote down some notes, but I think I just covered it all right there.
That was well done.
You like that?
Yeah, I did.
Even after a couple of sips of whiskey.
Good whiskey.
We didn't talk about what we were drinking. Old Forester, King
Old
Ranch.
Forester.
The King Ranch edition.
Yeah.
Which there's a difference between Old Forester and Old Forester King Ranch edition.
This, yeah, oh, for sure.
Yeah.
They use, we've talked about this,
Yeah.
mesquite from the King Ranch. And
I can taste it.
they filter it through the charcoal. Yeah, I mean, definitely smokier, definitely more flavorful, I think. Old Forester's a classic.
It's a little higher price point on the King Ranch one. Yeah.
For sure. Because they don't, it's a limited edition too. I think they come out once a year. I think it comes out once a year. That's it. Like they run a batch, they flood the market. Because you can find it. I was all happy I found it right when it came out. And I was excited. Now it's everywhere. So
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
I was at Specs a little while ago and I saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$100.
Yeah.
98
about right.
or
Yeah,
something.
it's about right.
It's a good bottle.
Okay, so we'll do some parts.
Parts of the week,
Let's do it.
my friend.
All right.
You know, I'm going to keep it kind of short and sweet today.
Let's do it, please.
What do you want to go with? Do you like the nuts or the bolts?
Let's go with the bolts.
So these two go together, okay?
Okay.
And there was actually another size that went with this. These are a very crazy alloy. You know, I didn't research this alloy like I normally do, and I'm not as familiar with this alloy because it's not used as much in the market.
Yeah, standard hex bolt. It's not finished yet. We haven't
Yeah,
machined
it's
off
not.
the face yet.
And this one isn't
I'll put the
hexed
chamfer on.
yet. Oh, you can't even see it there. That one's not hexed yet. And we have some sockets out there as well. So these are all metric 904L.
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 What is 904L, Bryce?
You know, again, I did not research it. I'm going to go, it's more of a nickel alloy. I
Yeah,
think
it's an exotic one.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely, it's a high-end alloy. Anyone have Google to their, at their disposal?
A what?
Google, the Google machine.
Oh, yeah.
So 904L, I'm
Give it a
pretty-
goog, as they say. Give it a goog.
What do they call 904L? 904L.
Stainless steel?
A stainless steel.
Is it austenitic?
Yes.
Austenitic?
Well, if it's a stainless, typically, it's like I think 400 series or martensitic.
The oxidation period has to be.
So I can't understand what they're saying, but
What's the chrome content? Austin and nickel content?
I bet chrome content is
19, 20.
No, it's going to be too higher than that. I bet it's 24.
Chromium, 19 to 23.
19,
19
baby.
to 23. So I was just on the high side. And then what's the nickel content? Probably a little higher too.
28.
Oh, that's high. I mean, that's a hot for a stainless steel. That's really hot. So probably low carbon.
This is used a lot in offshore, 904L. I've seen a lot of it used there.
Really?
So saltwater applications.
We used to see a lot of it, and yeah, I guess that's true. Like chlorides, yeah, like pulp and paper.
So it's just a step under Inconel, maybe it's a
Yeah.
lower price point, but you got similar corrosion characteristics, similar strength.
And so there was only one place in the United States you could buy this alloy for a long period of time, and they just sold it all to a company here in Houston. So now a company here in Houston is going to have.
You don't want to name that company?
I'm not going to release.
Okay.
You can call us and we'll help you.
That's fine.
We got to keep a
Okay.
little bit to
We'll
ours.
give you spreadsheets, but
You
we're not gonna
publish
give
the
you our
spreadsheets,
sources.
but I'm not telling people our sources for stainless steels.
Okay,
man.
good.
Come
I'm
on.
with you on this, Bryce.
I got to hold something close to
I'm
the
with you.
chest.
I'm with you.
So we 3 different sizes, all metric, all machined from round bar, brought in, I think 80 pieces of this, 40 pieces of this. So metric 904L, hex bolts and sockets.
Very cool. It's an unusual alloy for us.
It is. I mean, we've run it a few times, but not a lot.
What, pray tell, do you have here, my friend?
You know, this is a nut that we made per sample, so I think you could probably call this like a tensioning nut.
Yep.
So it's a 3.5 inch or so OD, and then drill tap, a 2-inch 8, I think. It looks more, it's 2-inch 8. And then you have all of these holes that they drill, fine thread, I'm pretty sure. And they use jack screws, jack bolts to
We'll make the
tension.
jack screws for them?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We're actually we sent material out to get heat treated, so we're heat treating the material to make the jack screws.
Oh, so it's not B16 jack screws?
No.
Oh.
So sometimes they are, but
Yeah.
sometimes they're not.
Okay.
I think this is a special alloy that we're heat treating.
Okay.
So we should get that back actually today. We're going to run them, I think tonight, and this will be ready for customer to pick up.
So
in
it's
the
a
morning.
similar concept to a tensioning, hydraulic tensioning bolt, but instead of using attrition to turn the nut to generate load, you're using all of these little jack screw points to use a smaller torque on, but it's creating a tremendous amount of load underneath the nut. So instead of using hydraulics, you're still using a threaded attrition source to generate the load.
So typically you'd have a
But
hardened
it's
washer.
spread out among
right?
all of these.
You'll have a hardened washer.
Hardened washer underneath, jack bolts underneath one
With
of
a
those.
dog
You-
point
You can
on
use
each.
almost like hand wrenches to generate tremendous amounts of load. You're not having to use a huge socket, a huge wrench.
But I will tell you, the guys in the field absolutely hate these things.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of tedious.
It's a very tedious
yeah.
job to tighten these things down. I mean, imagine too, I mean, you're tightening it down, let's just say a heat exchanger. Normally you'd have 32 bolts on that heat exchanger or whatever it is. And instead of that, you're doing that times, 8, 10, sometimes 20.
Yeah.
So instead
Right.
of, tightening down 32, you're tightening down 660.
Yeah, awesome part, man.
It is cool.
Lots of turning, lots of drilling, lots of tapping.
And when we get this order, like a day ago? Yesterday. We got this order yesterday. So they've
Good.
already machined the part, and then, material for the jack screws is out. It should be back. I think it's probably here now. They're probably running the jack
Turn
screws
around
now.
quick, man.
Fast. Muy rapido
That's what we do.
at Patriot Bolt.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Muy rapido.
Muy rapido. So that's all the parts I got today, Chris.
What are you doing this weekend?
My wife has a Christmas party, a company Christmas party soiree this evening.
Galveston. right?
Galveston, yep.
Yeah.
So we'll be down there. I think that's it, man. It was a crazy weekend last weekend, so we need to rest up, kind of get back at it. It's holiday season. I always seem to gain a lot of weight. I like to eat and drink way too much.
I went on that cruise, you just can't help it.
Yeah,
right?
just eat. It's all the food.
But it was bad timing because I was telling Andrew, you go into a cruise, you tend to diet a week before you go on the cruise, so you have a little bit of runway. Right after Thanksgiving, no runway.
Yeah.
Right into the cruise.
Just
I'm
pounding.
right off the runway. Hadn't even boarded the ship and I was off the runway. And then you're on the ship, and then you got bourbon and food in your face.
Who's your favorite Disney character that you had a meal with?
Oh, I didn't have a meal with anybody. No.
Really?
No character.
They always run around and do like the show and everything.
We were more in the adult side of the ship.
Okay.
But there was a few dinners that we had where you had some, it was, I don't know, what is it?
Moana?
No, well, they did show that.
I'm sure
on a
they
couple of
did.
shows. I
I'm
never
sure
saw
they
it.
did.
I never
Moana's
saw
a
it.
hot one,
Moana
man.
2.
Moana 2.
Moana 2.
It's a big one right now.
Yeah. They were showing Indiana Jones, A Dial of Destiny.
Oh, nice.
That was in the theater. Of course, we had already seen that.
Harrison Ford still
But
in that?
the live performances are really good.
Really?
Right?
I don't. Yeah.
The live
I guess.
performances.
I mean, they're
Yeah.
cool.
So they do like a Tangled thing,
Yeah.
or they'll do.
You're a big
a,
Rapunzel fan?
Actually, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
That
Rapunzel.
makes sense because
So
you're
yes,
jealous
to
of
go
her
back and
hair.
answer your question, yes, Rapunzel would be the one that I would. go
Rapunzel
with.
was your.
Yes.
She must have been an attractive princess.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, she was good looking?
All of them are attractive. They're all good looking.
Cinderella to me has always been my favorite princess.
Really? Cinderella.
Going to.
Well, that would explain the shoes.
Yeah, it's my favorite color too.
Watch this happen thing.
Really?
But if you go to Disney,
What's the color?
like the baby blue,
Oh.
right? That's a
Well,
Cinderella.
Slippers were clear, right?
Cinderella.
Glass slippers.
There were glass slippers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but her dress was like baby blue.
Okay.
Columbia blue.
All right.
North Carolina.
Columbia?
Yeah.
That's
Tar
your-
Heels blue.
That's your hue of blue?
Yes.
Is Columbia?
It was our color in high school. Yeah, man. It's been with me a long time. Michael Jordan back in the day. He was a Tar Heel. So that was his
Okay.
color he rocked.
All right.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons why baby blue, Columbia
And it
blue.
all goes back to Cinderella.
Yeah, it all goes back to Cinderella. As a child,
Did you have a poster of Cinderella on your wall?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not. See, I had a good story, and you just blew the story up, man. So I'm gonna.
You know, sometimes what you say, it requires questions.
no,
right?
you're
so
right.
we can get down to the bottom of
That's
this.
a valid point. Valid point.
So what was the story? Keep going.
You know, it's just now it doesn't even matter at this point. My daughter was a big fan of Cinderella, and so we would go to Disney. We would go on Disney cruises. We did the whole thing, and you know they have all those pretend Cinderellas or just princesses in general.
Yeah.
And Cinderella was always the most attractive, I think.
Okay.
Uh-oh. So I don't want to do that. So what do you got going this weekend? Anything fun?
We've got my daughter's baby shower tomorrow.
Baby. Oh, baby.
So we've got a lot of people coming over to the house. I think we have 35 people, and our house is not that big. So,
Here, take that one too. Oh, we're done. Yeah, we're
so
done.
35
Here, you
people
want this one too? 35 people.
in our house,
Cross this, amigo.
eating and drinking, and you know,
So do you know what it is yet?
it's gonna be a lot of work. It's a boy. It's gonna be a boy.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
Positive.
oh yeah, duh. You already said that.
You've already
for
named it.
For some reason, I thought you said it was a reveal party. But yeah, it's a boy, and it's
Already had the reveal party.
Colby, right?
Colby.
Colby Cole.
Yeah, a little nod to my heritage there.
To
Because
the
Kyle
cheese.
took my name, so they're
Right.
trying to get my name back a little
Yeah,
bit.
a little
right?
bit, a little bit.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a big
So
cheese fan.
Jackson's
a
really
Packers
the
fan.
only one in the family. My son's the youngest. He's the only one that can carry on the name. I got 2 girls, and my brother's got 2 girls, and so
God, there's so many things I want to say that could be so inappropriate, but I'm not going to.
please don't.
Out
Please
of respect.
don't. Please don't. I'm not even curious.
Yeah, you
I
shouldn't
don't
be,
even wanna know.
because yeah, my brain went to a dark place.
Okay. Well, have a great weekend, sir. Enjoy the Christmas party tonight.
Oh baby, will I
And
ever?
I'll send you pictures from a live feed or something from the shower.
Yeah, that'd be fun, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. A live feed from your shower?
Maybe you can join in.
From your
A
shower.
baby shower. Good Lord.
A
It's like,
live.
you know, the
Are we starting a Patriot?
the best part about that
OnlyFans?
is everybody went down the same road you did. Every single person in
There's
the
a bunch of
room.
filthy animals in here. I tell you. I tell you. All
All
right.
right, sir.
On that night.
Yes, sir. No.
That
On
night.
that night.
No.
All
Night.
right.
Whiskey's catching up.
78 in
Cheers.
the books.
78.
79 coming up.
Like, comment, share.
We're going to say 79 in a different language.
Swahili.
Yeah, or Portuguese. Let's
Mandarin.
go Portuguese.
No, that's too much like Spanish. We
Is
gotta
it?
go Mandarin.
Is it really?
Yeah.
The numbers are
See.
similar? Okay.
And Italian's too close too. We got to go like
Swahili.
Mandarin,
We're gonna do
Mandarin or Swahili.
Yeah. Mandarin, Swahili. We're going to do both.
Yes, let's do it.
And let's do a weird one. What about...
Or Sweden.
that sounds very difficult.
I don't think that's a language.
Yes, it is.
Swedish.
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 Okay, we're going to do Swedish, Mandarin, and Swahili.
Swahili.
Next week. Yes, sir.
On that
Yeah,
note.
brother. See you.